And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the 19th of February edition. Morning Mindset. I'm your host, Todd. It is Monday. How is everybody doing today? First up, let me know, can you see me? Can you hear me? We want to make sure that's good to go. It's your first time here or long time here. This is what I need to know out of you. I need to know from you. Yeah, that's how that goes. Who you are, where you're from, what is in your cup, and what the weather is like. And the most important part, 5 things. What are 5 things? 5 things that you are going to accomplish today. So we've been going strong already this morning because I kind of had my day thrown into a mix, and we'll talk about that today. But we've got DTF that needs to get done. We've got decals that need printed. I've got a hair appointment, right? I got to get my hair did. We got press shirts, and we got to order supplies. And I have to remind myself that I have a hair appointment because it got moved. My stylist, she had a death in the family, so she's like, hey, can we move this? And I said, sure, absolutely. You tell me when, and I'll make it work. So I have to make sure I have that on my schedule. That's at 11 today, which means this is going to go to like 9:15, 9:30. If you were in the mentorship group, we will have that call, and we'll go 9:30 to 10:30. Might dip out because I'm trying to get stuff done so that way I can get there. So that is what we have going on today. And that's just the beginning, like going through this and trying to make the list. We all do this, right? Here's my 5 important things, but there's still a bunch of other stuff that needs to get done today. And that's what we're working on. So let's check in and see how some people are doing this morning. Barb, good morning to you from North Central Minnesota. It is 16 headed to 40 and sunny. Basil herbal tea in the cup, water in the bottle. I haven't even looked to see what the weather is. And why is that? It's because it's President's Day. So I haven't had to go outside yet. There's no school for the kids. That's 26 right now. And it says we're going to get to 51. Ooh, 51 today, 53 tomorrow, 59. It's like we're in the high 50s for the week. Even next week, high 50s, when it should be in the 20s because we're going to be in Mexico. But whatever, right? So thanks for that, Barb. T-Don, good morning to you, Tim. Frozen Toledo, 25 out, but heard warm weather on the way. Water to drink right now, pink monster on deck. The warmer weather is on its way. At least it is here. So, usually it gets to you guys a day after us. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. That is 51. Nothing in the cup this morning. To be home. Hope to be home by 10:30. Good deal. We'll be here. Hey, Tim and Chuck from Barb and Darren, good morning. And Jenny, good morning. From a chilly 26 in Northern Indiana, water in the cup. T-Town, there's 5 things. He's got to work through numbers from yesterday's event, unload totes and put away, tint job at 12, count shirts I have left from yesterday, softball practice at 5:30. Ooh, it is that time of year, isn't it? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Darren is saying hello, or Darren is getting hellos from Barb, and so is Jenny. Why am I reading that wrong? Darren says it's 33, feels like 20 and sunny. And that's so deceiving, right? When it's sunny out, you're like, oh man, it's gorgeous out. You go outside and it's cold. That's how this weekend was for us. Renee, morning from 26, Shorewood, Illinois. What are you doing there? Coffee in the cup, water in the tumbler. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, Renee. And Renee, thank you for the anniversary card. I think that came Thursday, Friday, Saturday, somewhere in there. But I finally, somewhere over the weekend, I was able to see it. 1 year, right? It's hard to believe it'll be our first real anniversary this coming up soon. Hi, Renee to Barb. Darren, had a fire last night, so not much on the to-do list. Clear coat, 100 wins, study, pay bills. Man, you've got a list, right? You've at least got a little list. FU Facebook user. Hey, so Facebook and StreamYard don't always play nice. When that happens, you become FU Facebook user. But if you head over to fatdadlive.com, that gets you into our YouTube channel. And while you're there, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. All those likes, all that stuff, that helps, man. It's free. It's free to do. It helps keep the lights and mics on. It doesn't pay a lot. I'm not going to sit here and say we make tens of thousands of dollars. I know people that do, but for us, it basically buys a cup of coffee. It pays for the service to stream with us. If I can pay for one of those things, I'm good to go with it. Linda, August 41 and sunny there in Bastrop, Texas. I'm in Central Texas, headed to get my iced latte. Weather's 39 with a high of 68. I could handle that. And Linda, I need to get a haircut also. Have to work on soccer uniforms, photo orders, go to chamber to sign checks and return and run treasure reports. Linda's got a busy day in front of her. Oh, it was Travis. Travis had been a long time. Glad to see Morning Mindset still going strong. Travis, you named it, right? Travis came up with the name for this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We're in season, 3? Yeah, glad to have you back, Travis. How are things been for you? And Jerry, hi all. Good morning. So let's talk about some things that we're working on. First up, Tuesday with Todd tomorrow night. Typically, that's at 5. Tomorrow, it's going to be at 4:30 because I didn't realize there's a PTO meeting. So I got with Cindy. She was fine with going earlier, so that it'll be at a special time tomorrow, 4:30 tomorrow, and we're going to be making a hair bow I cannot pronounce, but that's what we're going to do for that. So a fun crafternoon. Grab a drink, join us. I should probably grab a drink anyway because we're going to the PTO meeting. So we'll see how it all plays out. But that'll be tomorrow night at 4:30. Next week. So Monday we will still be here, and then we head to Mexico. Any DTF order that is placed through the website where you're uploading your stuff. So through Fret Dad Print Co., if you're uploading your artwork, you're building your gang sheets, anything you do on that, no problem is going to get printed out. If you need to order any of our pre-done transfers or anything like that, those ones are going to take a little longer, maybe a day or two. I'm not even going to say that. Here's how it's going to work. Once we leave, I'm going to run a special on the ready to press transfers. I'm letting you guys know that here first. You'll start seeing stuff this weekend for it. But we'll run a special on those. I'm telling everyone they're not going to print until we get back, which would be the following week, but there's a chance they could print while we're gone. The way we have our print system set up is orders coming in, they get dropped into DQ. I can print those, or I can send it to our print supplier and have them print them for us. Our print network. That's the great thing about having this print network, is that I'm able just to turn things on and off. So we're too busy, we're going out of town, machine issues, whatever, I can have it taken care of, and nothing skips a beat. One issue that we have is when somebody wants to order like pre-made sheets, the network doesn't have access to that because those are on my local drive. So I need to go in, set all of that up. We're going to be in Mexico on vacation. I don't mind checking emails and stuff in the morning, make sure everything's good to go there. But, hey, I want to actually spend time on my vacation. I don't want to work all the time. So if we're able to set some of them up, great. But most are going to print when we get back. But, if you need DTF, don't worry. If you upload your artwork, you will be good to go. So just remember that for next week. Other things, I want to give a shout out to the Laser Lounge this weekend. I had some things we were working through on the laser, and we got a lot of great information from people over there. And so that's always good. When you're trying out new stuff, when you're looking for things, what do? You go into the Facebook groups, you find groups that are good for you and that you're good for. Not all of them are like that. I feel that we have a really good group in our business success one. We try to be super positive in that. We try to, sometimes we do rule with that harsh hand. If you're posting all the copyrighted stuff, you're going to get, you're going to get that post removed. You're going to get a warning and eventually be kicked out of the group, because I don't want to lose that group over you posting copyrighted stuff. But we try to be super knowledgeable, super helpful for people. We've been there, we've done that. So that's, find groups like that. And then with that, we had, people inquire about our mentorship community, which, hey, that's going well. We're going to set the goal. I think, what would you do? We're going to set the goal for 100. That's what I got to go back and check the goal list. We're going to set it for there because that's what we want to build to, and we're well on our way to it. $20 a month. We're getting people that are saying, hey, in the first call alone, they saved their $20 or got their $20 in value with. So we got that, and I'm super excited how that works out. Let's see what else we got here. Linda says, we need a haircut also. Have to work on soccer uniforms, photo orders. Oh, yeah, need a haircut also. I've already read that one. And Renee, in Shortwood for a few days. Oh, that's right. I forget that everything. See, I do that. Dad's dementia doesn't allow for the carrier. Trying to work on non-production item, but hard to have any kind of schedule. I know, right? You just do how you've always done, right? You just break it up into those micro processes. Like, what you need to really get done today. Is there anything super pressing besides caring for mom? Probably not. But is there things that are on that list that you could probably do while she's rested? Yeah. You just break those down into little things, and you know where to find us. Just shoot up a message. We'll be there for you. We got you, Renee. Did you find? I have not looked, Chuck. And last night somebody asked me, and I said, that there's the live tonight, and that was the Clock Shack and Vinatari, right? I said, I'll ask in there. I got busy with other stuff, and I never even saw if they answered or not. But I think you posted that there was in the video section, right? Is that what it is? Oh, and here we go. Cindy is letting us know about tomorrow's bow pronunciation is Wrath of Khan plus pizzas plus she. What? Kanzashi, right? Kanzashi, pizza she, Kanzashi. I think it is. Kanzashi. I think I got that right. And Ray said, "Yep, that is what it is. We're moving forward. And that's what's coming." Yeah, I mean, it's all we can do is we deal with the circumstances that are in front of us, and we move on from there. I mean, last week we had good ups, we had good downs. It's getting better, but I've talked to a few people in the DTF world, and it's slow for a lot of people. I don't know how your business is, and it's typically slow this time of year for us in general, but we usually start seeing a slight uptick, here middle of the month, towards the end of the month, and then March it kind of gets back, and then by May, it's full swing again. And the uptick hasn't been as big as it normally has. And we've talked to people like, hey, budgets are tight. We're not spending money this year. We're holding off. A couple of them where we do stuff in the spring for them and a fall order. They're holding off on their spring orders. They're like, everything's still good from the fall, so we're just holding for now, and we're going to see if we can ride it out a little bit longer, just because funds are tight. And so I don't know how you are. If anybody else wants to chime in how their business is, if you're doing awesome, love it. Keep up the good work. If you're slower than normal, dude, I'm telling you, a lot of people are. A lot of people. And it was somebody who right now their ad spend is about $1,000 a day, and they're in the DTF world. So their ad spend is about $1,000 a day, and currently that $1,000 a day is only bringing in $3,000 in sales. And they said that's been about the average. So they're not making any money. They're pretty much breaking even on everything every day. And they're like, how are you seeing that too? I'm like, that's what I'm seeing. So it makes it, I'm not going to say this in like a mean way or anything, but it makes me feel good that, others are struggling too, because then you can see that it's just not you. There are other things going on. Now, I know a lot of people are still doing a ton of stuff on the B2B side of things. There are a lot of stuff on the school sports side of things, a lot of stuff that they have already going. But like for us, we're seeing stores open at a normal rate, but we're seeing those orders being less. Whereas we'd open up a team store for, say, like a baseball one, the average order on that was roughly $200. Is what they would get. This year, right now, it's about 75. So we're still getting sales, but not what they were. We're continuously pushing things. We're doing things. We, as much as some ways it works for ones and not the other, we're seeing people slash prices to ridiculous levels on things because they think they're getting business. And after talking to them, like, I know what it costs to print this. You are not making enough money at this. And they're like, I'm selling it for more than what it costs to print. I'm like, you are, but what happens when you need a head? And they said, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because a head's $1,500. So if they're making super thin margins on it, yeah, when there's a mistake that's been happening and you have to reprint an order, or there's a head strike or the head's bad, it's tough to recover from that. And that's where it gets scary. You want to. We don't want to have all of our eggs in one basket. Easter's coming up, so think about that. But you want to be able to, if you do multiple things, make sure that people know that. We regularly see where people don't realize we do other things than DTF. And that's 1,000% on me for not making sure that people know we do yard signs and that we do banners and that we do decals for them, which is why next month on a Tuesday with Todd, we're going to go over setting up team stores, fundraising for that, whether it's for a team store, whether it's for a organization, for a fundraiser, and we're going to walk through that, setting it up on Equid. And with that, hey, here's the things that we offer. We can help with all of those. We just don't push it enough. And sometimes I think we're being too pushy with stuff. And then I realize when I have friends ask if they know somebody that does this, and we're decent enough friends where they should know I do it, it's because I don't tell them enough. So just because we're thinking we're posting enough or talking about enough, until people tell us we are, we're not. So let's check in. What else were we? More marketing, less spending here. Yeah. And that's the thing, is we can market. Like this weekend was we dialing in the laser on some stuff, trying some stuff out. Corey wanted some signs for for the house. And so we were going through different art bundles and things that we have, different files, different groups that we're in. And so she picked some out, and I still want to the bed of ours. It's trying to figure out what makes more sense. Because we're limited on the cut size that we can do it. We can hook up the conveyor and run that, but then it's not just a simple here. You hook it up and then you're good to go. Every time we have to change out how it's done. So, say we want to do like a 16-inch round sign, right? You do a 16-ounce round sign, we have to use the conveyor on it, but then we want to cut the pieces of it. We have to disassemble the conveyor, then we can cut it. So it's not labor friendly by any means. Now, I know people that are running split backs on it, and so I think that's what that's on our list to try, is take some of the designs, add a split back to it, and then we should be able to cut everything on one piece, which, hey, that is sweet, if we're able to do that. So we're going to, have fun, see how that is. But it was good. They got stuff, I got stuff cut. They picked stuff out. Her and Krista had a fun time painting it. It was a good overall weekend, and they picked out more stuff. Now, as we did that, we showed it off, like, hey, we're excited about this. I did it on the content side. So here's the affiliate link for X Tool. You want to make some of your own? Go get that X Tool, right? Go here and get it. Save some money. Here's our affiliate link. But then, a funny thing happened. Somebody says, well, how much? Well, we hadn't really thought about, if to sell them or not, because they can be labor intensive on it. So I said, we'll look at it. And when we get back from Mexico, we'll make the decision on it. So, that got added to the list. If that's something that, able to add to that side of the business, hey, that's what we're going to do. But, it's constantly making sure that people know what you do existingly and when new things come out there for it. And Jenny said, same here. Same here. People are waiting close to the deadline. I feel like March is going to be busy. Yeah. And we're seeing that, we're putting out quotes. Every day we're putting out quotes to people, and we're waiting for artwork to get back. We're waiting for approval on it. And something that, if you're not doing this in your quotes, make sure to give a timeline for this. Like, hey, this quote expire. Like, all of our quotes expire in a week. If we send a quote today, it's good for 7 days. And then, if they want it, we re-quote it. And now it's not as bad with pricing being different in that, but then it just puts that hard deadline on it. The other thing in there is that, hey, whatever your production time, it's from when that either invoice is paid or artwork is approved, whatever is later. You can't send a quote today on the 19th for a job that's due on the 29th, and then on the 25th, they decide they want it and they expect it on the 29th. So make sure that you have all those listed when you're doing anything like that. It's just it's a different time. We're trying to make ends meet with what we have. We're trying to meet goals and hit deadlines, but people are waiting, and so it's a little longer. We'll talk this morning. Awesome, Chuck. And let's see. Jenny said, same here. Or no, that was the one I just did. Above and Beyond says that discretionary spending is definitely down. We're just trying to shift the product offerings to become appealing to a large market to help. Yeah. And that's the thing, it's a tough thing to do, because, you want people to know. Like, for us, it was not uncommon for us to be shipping out 20 fundraisers a month or a week. We were crushing it, have 100 a month, no problem. And it was people that we were working with here, and so they were working with the schools. Okay, we did a decal fundraiser for them for this. Oh, they did shirts and that. We took care of the transfers for them on there, and then it was, it wasn't unheard of by any means, and we were rocking and rolling with it. Well, then, COVID happened, so that kind of changed everything, because all of our school stuff went away, and a lot of that, when they came back, same people weren't in charge, same people had moved on. Some people quit doing it, and so it was time to rebuild that. Well, for us, our printed HTV, we were printing, 1 to 2 rolls of it a week, for transfers. And we saw that was going to go down with DTF, which is why we got into it, because we did see that was going to go away. If we want to stay competitive with it, we need to invest in it. Well, even with that, everything comes back. We start focusing more on DTF, and any of our new people didn't realize, or still don't realize, that we do signs, banners, decals, things like that we were doing before. And I need to get back to that to make sure that they know that we got it there. Made it. It's been a tough morning already. It has been like my day. Throw in President's Day to this mix, because half the stuff that we normally use is open, and the other stuff, half the stuff is closed. Like even some of the city stuff, like garbage is on regular schedule, but public works is closed. So city offices are closed. Some of them are still working. It's just, it's weird. It is a holiday. I don't think USPS isn't running today, but UPS and FedEx are. So it's something to think about when things are shipping and moving about. What's open and what's not. I know most retail places are open, but just be mindful of things like that today. I'd love to see a video of the split sign. It's sweet. It's just where you take the big back. So let's say we're going to do a 16 or 18-inch one, Renee. Do a center line, you do puzzle pieces. Make sure your curve's right so that holds it right in there. And that's what I'm working on. That's what I'll be working on this week. I'm testing out a few different things to see how we can do that. So that way, if we want to offer, a bigger sign, we're able to offer a bigger sign. Sarah says she does the same thing. 7-day expirations on quotes as well. Good. Jerry says the laser samples you're doing are really nice. Thanks, Jerry. And there's some learning with it. Like I do everything in Corel. So then we bring it into XSpace there. Is that what it's called? I don't even know. I got to remember that things aren't grouped together. So like I was adjusting stuff and I noticed on one that everything was adjusted off. And I'm like, what the hell happened here? Well, it was because, in your area, your box, I had something that was out of it. And I grabbed it and brought it down, but I didn't grab all of it. So it was all wonky. I learned on some things that the scores weren't deep enough. So that way, when you painted it, you couldn't see it. And so it was like, okay, well, we need to make sure that's there. Some other planning pieces of, hey, if I know that there's going to be small pieces under here, I got to make sure to use the screen underneath it. So that way it doesn't fall through the honeycomb and then I lose it. And I'm like, what's going on with it? So it's all part of a learning thing. And like I said, if I can create content with it and use that to generate affiliate sales, that's where it's at. Yeah, people don't read. I find that fascinating, especially not reading over a quote or invoice. We have it all the time, especially with things where there's text or words involved, names. Like read through these, make sure that they're all here, make sure that everything is spelled correctly. I've lost count the amount of times that we have sent stuff to people and they have approved it and there was a name missing off it or a sponsor missing off it or a name spelled wrong on it. But by paying that invoice, we have it in there. By paying this invoice, you acknowledge that all artwork is correct, spellings are correct, placement is correct, everything with that. So, it's easy to see where they are used to reading it some way. And so we do our best to accommodate it. On some stuff, it's easy to fix, and others it's not. You just got to take it on a case-by-case situation. And Linda says, great that JDS carries Stalls items now. Can get free shipping over $99. I have trophies from JDS and jersey final from Stalls on the same order. That is pretty sweet, isn't it? That they're able to do that. And even like that, look how big of a player Stalls is. They were able to, basically sign JDS as a, as a reseller, for everything. And if I remember correctly, it's not shipping from JDS. It's just drop shipping from Stalls as well. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened. And T-Town says, you have to love the phone calls when they say, can I talk to the owner? And you call Walmart and ask for the owner, right? Like, what do you want to talk to the owner for? And they're not available right now. How can I direct your call? Hey, what can I help you with? It's mostly always a business financing, a business insurance thing. It's just, yeah, I get that. So you're a Chicago sports team. It's a rebuilding year, right? I mean, every year is a rebuilding year. But that's where you try and figure out what are you going to do? What makes you happy? We saw a downturn in the way things were going. Probably last quarter it wasn't where it was, but that's because a lot of the markets that we were in, other people came in there and undercut pricing like a mofo. And if anybody knows that crafters aren't loyal, it's us, right? We know that a lot of them, they follow that price. If the price is lower, I don't care. I don't care what kind of service you provide me. I just need the cheapest possible. Then when they have issues, they want to come to you for questions, and you're like, oh, you don't use me anymore. Okay. I know a good 5 of our accounts last year that, accounted for on average, $3,000 a month. They went ahead and they purchased their own printers. So when that happens, right there, 3,000 times 12, that's, $36,000. That's just gone. And I knew it was happening. We talked to him. And I was like, yeah, here's what I look at. Here's what I do. I know what you're printing. This is when I would say the point would to start looking at it, because here's why. And because that's me. I'm always going to give everybody, the honest truth on stuff, on what they should be doing or how often they should be doing it. And that cost me business. I don't know what you're talking about. Go find somebody else. But that's not me. And, it comes back to bite me. So what do? We just keep producing our content. We're putting things out there. And that's where, like on the content side of things, it's what I need out of you guys. What kind of content do you want to see on Tuesday with Todd? I know as we build out the content for it, there's going to be more stuff on the laser, more stuff back to our roots on HTV, things with the laser, things with sublimation, which that was a whole nother thing. Corey has got some nasty gram emails into Stainless Depot because she got some sublimation cups, because she said, hey, sublimation, we want to do these for our trip to Mexico. I'm like, okay. Actually, it came down to, here's time, and running out of time. If you're not going to be able to epoxy, just do sublimation ones. So she had an order in for Stainless Depot. She went ahead and put on some sub cups from there. I'd never used them before. First up, Stainless Depot, what kind of a-holes are you? If you're going to sell me a cup, why are you making me pay for a template? I mean, legit, it's a template, and you want me, I don't care if it's $1.50. Like, you want me to pay for a template for your product. That should just be on your download section. The other thing, if you're going to sell a sub tumbler, you better damn say, hey, here's the recommended pressing instructions, because we all know with sublimation, it can be all over the board. So, those are two things down right off the bat that upset me about it. I'm like, why didn't you order from JDS or JP Plus, place that we know we use? We haven't had any issues with it. It was because she was placing an order for other tumblers, so just added it on there. And then third, they press like hell. Like, it seemed like every cup, when you were done, when you unwrapped it, part of the coating flaked off on it. So probably the worst cups I've ever used, and just not happy with the experience at all. So we'll see where it comes from that. And Linda said, yeah, my stall stuff came from JDS in Dallas and Houston. Get it tomorrow. Awesome. So good to know that. And I wasn't sure if they were stocking it or if it was coming from stalls. Love my Chicago teams. I only love a few of them, not all of them. I love a few of them. And it would be all good with it. Linda, I got to photograph Bears training camp a couple of years ago. Very fun. That's awesome, Linda. You're right there. It is awesome. What a cool experience. Love to see those templates. Everyone charges for the templates. Seem wrong. Really? Because I can go to JDS and download their templates, and I can go to JP Plus and download their templates. If I'm buying their product, their templates are there. So maybe I've just been spoiled. For anything sublimation, Sublimation 101, JDS, JP Plus, if I buy their products, I can download their templates. So that was the first time that I ran into that, where if somebody was selling a blank product and they had me that I had to pay for the template, and depending on it, it was $1.50, $2.50. But even with that, I don't know. I think that's just another way. If you have to charge me $1.50, add 10 cents to your damn tumblers, and you're going to make up for that $1.50, because it just irks me. It irks me. And maybe I'm wrong. So you'll tell me, am I wrong for being upset about that? Like, if you're selling a sublimation product, I feel you should be able to provide, a recommended time and temp on it. I feel you should be able to provide a template for it for free, not making me pay for it. And we'll see how this all plays out. But I'm not the biggest fan of it right now. So let's just go with that. Other thing, looking through my stuff, there will be before we leave, there will be a soft launch of labels on rolls this week. Got all the details figured out over the weekend. I got pricing dialed in. I'm going to throw them up on the website. We're not going to push them a whole lot because I'm not going to be here for a week, and I don't want to have a bunch of questions come in that I'm not going to be around to answer, and people waiting on it. So we'll add them to the site. That'll be pretty much it. There'll probably be some emails going out saying that, hey, you can go on there and find it, but the launch for it is going to be in March, and that's what we'll have it out. So going through the labels on the roll, it looks like you're going to have your standards of 1 inch, 2.5 inch, or 1 inch, 2 inch, 2.5 inch, 3 inch, 3.5 inch, and then your 3x5, your 4x2, your 4x3, and your 4x4. So those are all going to be on there. We got everything rocking, as far as price, or as far as quantities. Quantities are going to be 50, 100, 200, 300, and 500. As far as pricing, I feel the pricing is the pricing's good. Is there better pricing out there? Won't lie to you. Absolutely, there's better pricing out there. But this is what we need to be at pricing to make money. And that's just how it is. So maybe on some of the larger quantity stuff, at 300, 500, it's not as good of a deal. But on the lower stuff, that 50, 100, and 200, I feel we're super competitive on that. So look for that to come out. That I will let people know when that drops, and we will get that in there. But for the most part, we're not pushing that till next month. Linda says, I tried some from Stainless Depot. Great price on a case of 20-ounce straight cups. The ones that we got were horrible. Every one of them chipped. Every one of them came out of the press, and they were bad. They did not. Because I thought it was in the artwork and that. And then I'm like, no, that's not the artwork. When you're pulling off the transfer, it's just pulling the coating with it. So, yeah, I'm not super happy about it. The good thing that I can say is at least it's cups for us, because to go through what you go through 10 cups and have an issue with all 10 of them. Yeah, I'm not down with that. All of them pulling off stuff. I'll let one maybe, but yeah, I'm not happy with that. On the other side of it, she'll use the regular stainless ones for epoxy and that, and has no issue with them whatsoever. So she'll continue. And the main reason that she likes them is because they have the screw-on lids as opposed to just the press-on lid. She likes the screw-on lid. So I understand it. It makes sense, but I'm just not there. Yep. And Linda said, haven't had a problem calling me. She sent emails over the weekend, and she's going to call this morning to see what can be had, because it was just bad experience all the way around. They said not having any instructions on their site, that makes it tough. Not having anything there, and it was I think we ended up finding something through a blog post of what they recommended, but it's like, it's in your item description. Why wouldn't you just have, here's the details and here's how it is? So just not a good overall experience. And that's, as I said, I'm pretty real. I will keep you updated as to what they have to say, but right, any of the other stainless cups we've never had issues with. But then again, that's always been epoxy on the sublimation side. First time using them for this, and to have issues with every one of them, I would take responsibility if it was one, but it seems like every single one and had some kind of chipping or something out of it. Just not good. So I'll keep you guys updated on how that one rolls out. What else do we got here? We talked Tuesday with Todd, tomorrow at 4:30. Next week's production time, we've got that. Laser and stuff, we got that. Roll labels, we talked that. Laser, we talked that. Content creation. If you look, if you were in our mentorship community, one of the things we're working on, and I think Sarah posted it over the weekend, was a in the marketing side of things, things that are coming up. I have it in there for like when you go by what's it called? When you go by, why am I drawing a complete blank right now and I can't think? The stuff for the month. The awareness weeks. That's what I meant. Like the awareness weeks, the awareness months, things like that. Like what's going on for that month. Like next month, we know we have St. Patrick's Day, we have Easter. I think it's multiple sclerosis month awareness, and there's another one that's in there that I can't remember off the top of my head. Those are ideas about coming up there for it. Sarah made a pretty cool graphic that she uses, and it's got kind of like the main stuff on it and when she needs to have stuff listed by. So it was like, coming up, for St. Patrick's Day, and that she wanted everything listed by February 1st. So that was pushing it through. And so if you were in the mentorship community, go check out the monthly promos. If there's stuff that you're running, stuff that you're doing, feel free to share it if you want to be a part of it and talk about what you're doing and how you're doing. That's how everybody gets better, right? This is a promo we're running. This is how we're doing it. Like for us, we'll start seeing a March when it gets there. That's when we'll start pushing the yard signs. That's when we'll start pushing the those other things, those banners. We might run the T-shirt deal, where you're getting 100 shirts for $8, $8 each. It could be the hoodie one too. We usually do that in the fall. But if you think you might be able to help somebody out, go for it. That's what that mentorship community is all about. It's all about helping others succeed. It's all about helping yourself succeed. And to me, it's going to be your new resource center. As you go, $20 a month. If anybody is interested in it, I will post the link on the comments. I will post it everywhere. Where is it at? I had it in here. There it is. I'll post it in the comments, and then I will show it on the screen. So you can right click, copy, paste. But like I said, it's only $20 a month. You spend $20 a month at fast food. At least I do. So there it is. I'm worth more than a Big Mac meal because things are cashy, man. And that was something else we noted. So we had a meeting on Friday, right? Friday. We had a meeting at Friday with a client, and met at Panera. That's just has always been our meeting spot. And so we meet over there, and Corey said, hey, the kids got some stuff for, I don't know what they did in school or whatever, but they got something for like a free kids meal from Panera. I said, okay, let's go. So you guys can do that, and then we'll do there. I forgot how expensive Panera was. It was almost like $70 to eat. I'm thinking, man, I remember when it was like Panera, and you go in and out of there, and two people, it was less than $20. And then I started, paying attention more to pricing over this weekend. And there's a lot of stuff that has, went up a boatload. And to think, where we are with our pricing in that, and to see where, people are thinking, oh, your prices should be lower. We went through that, should we, and we've talked about dropping prices on DTF transfers for higher volume. You're ordering more, it's going to be less. But with prices of everything else going up to lower prices, that now means I need to sell more to even be back where I was. On shirt pricing and that, we've got to look at that. How much is it actually costing us for that? A lot of us, be honest, when was the last time that you actually, if you have a set price on something, right? In our business, whether that's creating a tumbler, creating a shirt, anything that you create there, when was the last time that you went back to look at those prices and actually adjusted them up? That you said, you know what, we're just doing a 10% raise across the board. Supplies are getting more expensive. Shipping times are taking longer. Hell, even with Amazon, it went there. We were always getting stuff next day or the day after. And now it's like 4 days. I think they've just done away with have your stuff in 2 days. So things are taking longer. That Amazon mentality, I like, even though I miss my stuff in 2 days, it's like, hey, even Amazon, the king of e-commerce, their stuff is taking longer to get to you. So you have to be, patient with us, having those pricing, having good knowledge on your pricing. If your stuff has went up and you haven't revisited your pricing in a while, maybe you should just check and see, make sure you're still good. What does it cost you to get in? How much does it cost you to make it? What are you retailing it for? Profit is not a dirty word, and everything is going up for it. Chuck said, I went to Culver's with a 25 discount for 3. It was 42. Culver's is another one that, it's always, negative 47 degrees inside their store. I think it's to keep, the elderly people alive. But it's always cold in our Culver's. And it's not my favorite by any means because it's not, I just don't feel like it's a lot to it. So one of the places I try not to go to is Culver's for it. I try to do a couple days of cooking, and then, all right, here's leftovers for the week, and now let's throw in some frozen pizza. Even with that, for Tombstone pizzas at $7, I can go up to Little Caesars and get a pizza that's bigger for $6. So it's tough. It's a tough thing. We always got to do it. And Barb checks prices every 3 months. But if I notice blanks or supplies, I adjust. I have all quotes that are subject to change. Absolutely. And that's why I talked about having that expiration time on your quotes. It's good for 7 days, because that's what it is. Prices change. Things fluctuate with it. So congrats to you. Good job, Barb. Checking that every 3 months on you. I'm about every 6 months. But even with that, I'm not super good at it because it's so consistent on what it is. There's things that we haven't had a price increase on a year. There's other stuff that might fluctuate a penny, 2 pennies, nothing like crazy that's going to add to it. But there are some things that I've noticed that was like, whoa, 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 that wasn't what that was, and it went up, $3 per. And when you look at that, hey, there's not a lot to be had there. So I totally get that for it. All right. Tomorrow, Tuesday with Todd, 4:30. 4:30 tomorrow night. Tuesday with Todd. We're gonna make bows. Make sure to join us for that. Right now, I'm getting off here. If you are in our private mentorship community, that call is starting in about 16, 17 minutes is what it'll be there for it. And we'll be over there for that. Sarah's checking in. I actually price everything every time. Maybe it's a bit too much, but we definitely calculate pricing based on current prices, not on sale. Yeah, never base it off sale prices. Always base it off the current retail price of it. 1,000% on that. All right. You guys have an amazing day. We will be back Wednesday, or we'll be back tomorrow night with Tuesday with Todd, but we'll be back to this on Wednesday, because we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until next time, peace, love, press on. We'll see you guys later.